This is like genuinely one of the most insane like controversies for a while, just because of how stupid it is. Like, obviously, the serious nature of it, like most of the points are very bad, but like. Obviously, most of you have probably seen recently Colleen Ballinger made an apology video titled Hi. And we're going to go through bits and bobs, the group chats that Colleen was involved in. We're going to react to her apology. We've both already seen it, but it's probably quite funny to take a look at.
It's very rewatchable.
Yeah, it really is. And there's also, I want to just in general speak about it because I've just made a 3-hour video. I've been like working on this video for like ages now, and I got to like the final part of the video, the final chapter, and I was gonna go home, finish it off, like render it, put it out there on Friday, and then I just look at my phone. I just got like 4 notifications from friends DMing me being like, "Have you seen Colleen Ballinger's apology video?" And I'm like,
I didn't actually have any idea who she was.
Do you know Miranda Sings?
No,
it's a character that she ran, and it's like I don't get it because it's just so it's like it's just like not fun. Do you want me to play like a Miranda Sings video?
Yeah, go on.
All
Let's
right.
get a bit of context to who this gal is.
Do you want me to play her most popular videos or a more recent one?
Just show me what it is. I don't know what it is, so...
Should we just click on the first one? From 3 weeks ago. She's been doing this for like 10 years straight, man. It's like one of those things where just move the fuck on. It's 10 million subs, though.
My name is Miranda Sings. I am a famous YouTube celeb. I have millions of views online, and I'm running for president. Not only that...
Alright, I've seen enough of that.
Yeah, she's... it's like... Do you remember when Shane Dawson did that character? I can't remember the name.
Oh, the Shoes song.
I can't remember the name of the character.
Was it like long blonde hair?
Yeah, and he had like red lipstick on like this. And I can't remember what it was called, but it's like that. It's like very OG YouTube. That's 8 years ago, 30 million views. I don't know what the fuck was going on with YouTube 8 years ago. I was speaking to Alex earlier about this, and I'm like, I can see why she has a child audience, because if you're an adult listening to this, you probably should end up in a jail cell.
It's the kind of thing where if you've got a kid and you hear it, them like listen to it, you just go, "Oh, fucking turn that shit down."
Yeah, and if you're letting your kids watch this, I think social services need to come in. It's just shit.
I mean, it's not the worst content. I just don't think it's for me.
It's pretty bad.
It's just not for me.
I just look back at this era of YouTube and think, why? I just don't get it. I think now maybe we'll look back on it nowadays and be like in 5 years' time, be like, that era sucks. But
yeah, but like think about us 10 years ago. We were pretty cringe, weren't we?
We were like 14 years old, mate. Like literally. Well, oh god, we were 16. That is quite terrifying.
I think I've been cringe.
We've always been
forever.
cringe, but this isn't cringe. This is just unfunny. There's a difference.
My cringe has just taken different forms now.
Yeah, there's a big distinguishment between forms of cringe, and this is just the worst form of cringe. But she built a career from this, and it turned out that she'd been messaging. Not just messaging fans. She was like building friendships and relationship with fans. Like the main the main person player in the whole story is Adam McIntyre, who's actually another commentary drama YouTuber.
It's basically a YouTube Charles Manson sort of.
What's Charles Manson?
What's Charles Manson?
Yeah,
it's like a big serial killer, and he had a like little cult of children.
Oh, that's what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I watched
yeah.
that recently. Yeah. Oh, the ending's sick.
Could you draw similarities between?
I don't think anyone's been murdered yet, but you could see it as it's a cult. It's cultish.
Yeah, Charles Manson's Weenies chat.
Yeah, trying to explain to people like in a serious tone that there was a group chat called the Weenies chat where people were being groomed is quite a difficult thing. But yeah, so
it just makes me think of the Weenie Hot Juniors.
Yeah, it makes me think of the tweenies. My editor, like when I did the chapter, because I'm in my video, I'm like going through it in chapters and stuff. When we go into the Weenies, he did like an edit, like a montage of the Tweenies theme song, like remix. It was quite impressive, actually.
Yeah.
So she was like cultivating an audience of young kids. She actually was becoming friends with them. She actually met up with Adam when he was like 14, 15.
Adam McIntyre.
Yeah, she met up with him for like lunch and stuff. She was like visibly uncomfortable in messages when like she found out the parents were coming and stuff. It's really weird stuff. And her defense has always been like, I didn't intend to harm, but it's like, I'm sure like multiple criminals have said the exact same thing, but you still
it is strange because it's like, I was just being, well, we'll find out when we see the video. She's like, I was just being like a loser.
Should we just put on the apology video?
Yeah, put on the
So you got the whole.
video.
I mean, most of the people, everybody watching this already knows what's happened. Like they know that she's been called out for a lot of bad stuff, and I think I've watched this apology, but I think it'll be funny just to sit back and watch it together.
Hey, it's been a while since you saw my face.
Yeah, well, you probably know, but we didn't mention it's just her playing a ukulele.
This is the thing. When I first saw this apology video, I was like, it's going to be like... it's gonna be her speaking for like 5 minutes because I saw Twitter being like, I can't believe she pulled out the ukulele in there, and that I feel like that's another crime we need to get onto. The fucking ukulele is like the worst instrument ever made.
Do not be surprised you are not watching an old Charlie is so cool like video. You are watching a woman apologise for grooming children.
And I think the best part about it is she's apologising for inappropriately acting with children while singing a fucking nursery rhyme, pretty much. But the first crime is the ukulele. I don't know about you, but I hate that instrument. It shouldn't even be classified as an instrument at this point.
Second crime is she started off with a 10-second silence.
Yeah, it's like every beat has been hit in this apology video. But
she just hasn't done the...
I just hate the instrument. I feel like every YouTuber has butchered the ukulele for me because maybe there are some talented people.
I like the ukulele.
I don't because it's just I know too many people that have just picked up
Noah and the Whale. They did some great songs.
Yeah, but they're actual musicians. But YouTubers will pick up a fucking ukulele. They'll start singing and think they're like the next I don't know something. But it's just like no,
great point, well made.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean.
They're
playing the most obvious instrument, which is like so easy to learn and play.
You know when YouTubers pick up the ukulele and they think they're the next something.
No, you know what I mean. They're trying to. They'll be like they want to be the new Joji or something.
To be
that.
fair, I don't think she was trying to get in the charts with this one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she was, man. I mean, what else was she trying to fucking do? She's playing a song. This is the thing, right? We got to give some level of compliments here. She sung for 10 minutes straight. Yeah. She's been memorizing this. She didn't have a script to look at. She was just going for it. I don't know if she was like what's the when you kind of like make things up on the spot, like
improv.
Yeah, I don't know if this was improv, but
it's not.
That's what makes this even more terrifying. This is like some calculated weird thing.
I know what will get the people back on side.
What go like if you had a mate, I mean, I hope not. I mean, I've had some mates recently that have had their mates turn out to be fucking dodgy bloke.
Oh yeah, we that's for another time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. It's yeah. He turned out to be a dodgy bloke, and we're always wondering how they're going to respond to it. If you get like a phone call being like, "I'm going to pull out the fucking guitar for this. I'm going to play some Guitar Hero while singing about grooming," it's just it's just like no, just don't do it.
I think that's what you should do if you're ever in a controversy. Just put hi, and then it's just you playing
Guitar Hero.
You playing fucking like.
We could put what was the other game called? What was it like? Rock band?
Yeah.
And you're in the background whilst I'm like fucking.
I'm on the drums. I'm on the drums.
We're playing the fucking Cadbury song, you know, the gorilla, right?
Doing Phil Collins.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though.
I don't know what she's even trying to say here. She's like, it's not quite true, but it's like, is she saying that the DMs aren't true, or is she saying like the grooming accusations aren't true?
I don't know. I mean, it's like she talks about it being a mob mentality and like people taking things out of context, but no one is.
But also, YouTubers just do this stuff, like influencers in general, whenever they're making an apology, or celebrities and stuff. Like somebody can do something absolutely heinous, but they'll be like, but you shouldn't like criticize them because they might like off themselves or something. Like there's a thing with Caroline Fleck. Every time a celebrity does something bad and people get criticized for it, it's like Philip Schofield got called out for like whatever he did with that kid, and people were like, but think about Caroline Fleck. I was like, well, yeah, but like, does that mean you can't speak about things anymore?
Yeah, I think
as long as you're not telling them to actually do something bad.
Everyone walks on eggshells nowadays because I think people are scared of getting people to take accountability.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the point she's coming from, because it's not a mob mentality where people are like taking things out of context and making it worse than it is.
Yeah.
Like when we like discuss what she's actually done, it's
just
awful. It's not great, is it?
Yeah, no, it is pretty like terrible. And we said we will get into the actual group chat messages, but we do want to just keep going through this. But I when she's saying it's not real, it's like, well, that's if she's talking about like the accusation of grooming, that's her own personal perspective. But the majority of society sees like a group chat of this woman being like, "Are you a virgin?" to 14-year-olds.
And also she's saying it's not quite true, but I'm not going to say why it isn't.
Yeah, this is the thing. She did this in 2020, so she actually made another response because this has been going on for 3 years.
Yeah,
now.
because I know Adam put out
The video in 2020.
Yeah, he basically started the allegations 2020.
Yeah.
It all died down a bit, and then more people came forward.
Yeah,
from what
this
I
year.
understand.
So he released the video. She made a video responding to it, lied throughout the whole video pretty much.
Yeah.
And then then there's another super fan made a video attacking Adams, this person called Cody Tyler. And then in 2023 they made another video, Cody, of where they actually went back on everything they said and said the complete opposite and said no, Colleen actually is this terrible person. And that just sparked up everything because in that message they showed all the fucking weenies group chat messages.
Yeah.
Should we continue?
Yeah, let's go.
Just as long as it's entertaining to you. Right? You guys having fun?
She's the one making it entertaining.
Yeah, this is what I don't get.
No one was entertained until you got the ukulele.
Do you know the worst part is as well? It's like, mate, this has got like she put this on her like third channel, thinking like, nobody's probably gonna like. It's probably gonna get a few 100,000 views. Like, it's gonna be I can put it out there. We'll turn it into a little goof and a little gaff.
Yeah.
But it's now got like fucking 6 million views, 700,000 dislikes, probably more now. You can't see it unless you've got like the little plugin. But I only thought this whole thing was like a very not niche, but it was like in the drama community and her community. But now everyone knows about it. I've got like mates who like don't give a shit about YouTube drama.
I think like there's people I know that don't
care.
Have never watched a YouTube video that will probably heard of this.
Yeah, because it's mental. Like it's
just,
actually one of those mental things I think a YouTuber's ever decided to do.
I think if you're going to do an apology video, I think what you want the outcome of it to be is for as less people to talk about it as possible.
Yeah.
So at least you've gone out and apologised. And
It's
then
never gonna
and then like you can like, right, well, we've done that. Now we can move on.
I genuinely think her, obviously it's like the wrong thing to do, but I think her best choice would have just been to ignore it and just move on.
Yeah.
Obviously you shouldn't do that. Like you should say sorry.
No, but now like anything she uploads ever again is just going to be tainted by
this is
video.
the thing. She is now like in the category of like Shane Dawson, James Charles. Like this is never going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Everybody now thinks because of her that she is actually like this terrible thing. Like, and the thing is like if you just made a video honestly apologizing, as much as she would still get shit for it. Anytime somebody apologizes, they get shit.
Yeah, because it's the lack of taking accountability.
But this is the thing.
That is what it is. Like she is refusing to just own up to it.
What people think when they like say it's like with somebody, if somebody does something shitty to you, yeah, and like it can be anybody, like a friend can just be annoying and they can say sorry. You don't necessarily need to forgive them. And when it comes to like accountability, it's like the whole part that's the building process of that is saying sorry, but that doesn't mean that it's all done. Like, and I'm not trying to like, and I understand like it sounds like I'm sat on like a plate of like this righteous mountain of like, oh, I'm so bad, but it's like the reality is because she speaks about this. She speaks like, oh, have you never made a mistake? It's like we have.
Because what's more pertinent than an apology is just actually admitting what you've done is wrong.
Yeah,
like that means a whole lot more to me than an apology.
Firstly, she's not doing that in this, but secondly, we have all done like stupid bad things in our lives, but like we've never, hopefully most of us watching this right now, me and you have definitely not messaged children who we just are like our super fans. Like we haven't done, and like sure you can like tweet them, and if you like get added to a group chat, I've been added to a group chat before and I've been like hi and stuff in there, like hope you're having a nice day, but you never say anything else, you leave, something like that. But like this is a whole different fucking ball game. Like she was asking like Adam for like ass pics and she'll be like, oh, but it was ironic, bro. I'm sorry, but like if a 30-year-old dude, like this, imagine this like big greasy, you know that World of Warcraft dude in South Park, the big greasy sweaty dude. If somebody like that messaged like a 13, 14-year-old girl, ironically asking for pics of them, they're gonna probably end up in jail, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that at the point where it's not even like remotely funny in the slightest. It just makes me feel a bit cold inside.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It just gives me the creepy crawlies.
And she almost has got what she's done here is she has turned it into a funny thing because like we are laughing at this, but like, and I don't know if it was intentional. Maybe she did just think there is actually no way for me to go back, like get out of this. So maybe if I spin it into something funny, and now everybody is just laughing at her. But
they're not laughing with her, are they?
No, they're not. But like. There's also there has been a bit of a serious nature kind of removed. Everybody knows what she's doing this for, like the grooming allegations, but most people are laughing rather than actually discussing the serious part. And maybe that's what she wanted. I don't really know. Should we continue?
Yeah.
All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip.
You know what the worst part about this is actually quite catchy.
I was gonna say, she's quite good at singing.
Well, that's what she was known for. I hate the ukulele, so I refuse to think that instrument can actually be played correctly. I just don't like it. All right, and I know you like it, but
I don't love it. It's just an instrument.
It's just a horrible
I
instrument.
think you can make any instrument sound decent.
You can. You can make if you can play the. If she whipped out, man, like an 8-piece guitar, like 8-string guitar, started fucking strumming guitar solos like Eruption by Van Halen and stuff, and that would be, maybe I'd be like, you know what, Colleen, fair fucking dudes, like just carry on with your day.
So you're saying it's okay if Colleen groomed children as long as she sounded sick as fuck when she was apologizing.
If she's doing like a drum solo, she's like fucking whacking up the bass guitar, she's going that maybe it won't change things.
That's why people don't hate Michael Jackson as much because
he was sick.
Because he's a massive pedo, but he was the king of pop, so everyone loved him.
He's got some bad. This is the thing though. It is like separating art from the artist.
Allegedly a massive pedo.
Yeah, you probably should add that on there. But she like these people are sick at music, so you separate out. There's a lot of actors are like pieces of shit. Like Shia LaBeouf is a terrible person, but Transformers is a sick movie.
Yeah.
And it's whether up to you whether you want to make the conscious decision to consume that art. But this isn't art. This is just shit. It's a bit catchy, but yeah, I hate the ukulele. So she shot herself in the foot there.
It's just embarrassing.
It is quite bad.
Just embarrassing.
This woman, she's got a kid. She's got an actual kid. This is the thing. She has children. And that kid is gonna. That kid's like 12 now, probably, or something. No, actually, no, it's like 5. I'm talking about. But it's gonna grow up and it's gonna see this.
It's gonna be like, Mum, put the ukulele down.
Just fucking shut up.
You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station, toxic gossip train.
I hate that lyric. One-way ticket to manipulation station.
But isn't that?
Because it's not true.
It's not. Most people just said, yeah, don't message your kid fans like what you've messaged them.
Don't ask your kid fans for arse pics.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. There is no manipulation. Manipulating is like I'm saying to you, Aidan, you better come record this podcast when you said you can't, or I'll kill myself.
There sounds like one manipulator in this entire situation.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? The only reason she's saying this, in one part of the apology, she's like, I could already hear what the comments say. She's a manipulator, a gaslighter, and a liar. But it's like, the only reason she's putting that lyric in there is because she knows that she is these things.
Yeah.
But if you're self-aware, it's like self-deprecation to get away with your bad shit. But
it's like when people go, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, but they only know it because they know that they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
And again, I just don't get this because the whole thing is like, has nobody else made mistakes? Yes.
I think the reason that it looks so bad is because she's going like, oh, poor me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, poor me. Why is everyone being mean to me?
She's got a nice house though. Looking at it, like nice little couch.
She's set up well, yeah.
Little corner couch. Do you reckon that's a real house or do you reckon that's a set? Because I saw Pokimane, sick individual. She'd been lying to us all. She on her streams. I mean, I don't really watch Pokimane streams, but everyone was like, "Oh, you got a really nice room." But it turned out in her studio or whatever, she just has had like an extended wall built for like her set of where it's been designed to look like there's a bedroom behind her, but it's just not real.
Oh,
so maybe that's
fair enough.
That's actually quite sick.
Yeah,
fair fucking play to Pokemon.
Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. Cause rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash. But hey,
I would love to see the gap between the 3 messages where someone goes, oh, my ass looks nice today, and a 13-year-old, and she goes, pics.
Where is the fucking gap? This is what I've said. Usually people, like, everyone's like, context. I don't even think I need context. Like, I don't want to fucking know any context here. Like, there is no context in the world that can change the fact that you have asked a child for an ass pic. Like,
yeah.
It's just not gonna work.
It's
Colleen.
not even nice to say, is it?
It's coming out of my mouth.
The fact I feel ill.
Yeah, mate, try making a 3-hour video where you've got to go through the messages and like you're shouting it out and stuff and you think, I live in a flat, man. We're connected to like 7 different people who can hear from upstairs, downstairs, right to left. Like everyone can probably hear this and like, God, what they probably think's going on is messed up, man.
All they can hear through the walls is you saying
13-year-old
and ass. Like,
it's so messed up. Oh, fuck's sake. All right, let's continue with the ukulele woman.
at least you're having fun. Hi everyone. I've been wanting to come online and talk to you.
I feel like I'm like, this is like the how she's singing here. I don't know if you've ever gone to like a musical before, but it's like when they're all a group of them are all singing together and stuff like and then suddenly the main characters start singing individually where they're like hypothesizing about their life and the struggle that they're in like the third act of the movie or something. And I'm just weirded out by the fact she's turned this into like a fucking musical.
Yeah,
this
does
is insane.
Vibes, doesn't it?
This is quite mad. Like I've watched this like 4 times already just for my video and stuff. But even now, we're like a minute in, and it is still wild to me.
About a few things. Even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say.
They were definitely right about that. Like they were fucking bang on the money.
Didn't they? I think I read that was like she's taken that from like an episode of Victorious or something.
Really?
I think so. I don't want to 100% say
Elite
yes or
show,
no.
to be fair. I don't know if you ever watched that. I liked Victorious.
Yeah, you like your Nickelodeon shows, don't you?
I do. I've been rewatching iCarly, and I watched the.
You're always rewatching iCarly.
Yeah, and I watched the new iCarly where Freddie and Carly are shagging now. So
are they?
They're actually fully like.
What
fucking,
a top dog!
Yeah, they're actually going for it. Finally.
To be fair, we all thought the same thing as a kid.
Shut up!
What?
Yeah, Freddie had a sick camera. To be fair,
Miranda Cosgrove is an attractive lady. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, she is. Do you know who? No, I'm not going to go and list attractive.
We're going to end up...
No.
We're going to end up next week holding ukuleles.
Not because it's bad. Just like I feel like it would be a bit weird if I go, do you know who is fit? This person. I think that would be a bit weird.
In the context of what we're talking about.
We're not going to do that.
No.
And I have to say, the people that I was going to list are adults. I need to clarify that. Like they are 20-year-old.
Can you just say them?
Rebecca Black is quite attractive.
Oh, okay, right.
I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say. So
I can just imagine a lawyers just having a fucking fit when they hear that line. Like they're paid thousands of dollars per fucking year to work for this woman, and she's just like, "No, I'm gonna sing, cunt."
Like when notification pops up, the
That
little
must-
thumbnail
they-
of her with a ukulele.
I like the idea if they just saw it and just went, just put it down. There's no reaction.
Push the red button.
Their house just fucking gets self-nuked.
Yeah.
today I only want to talk about the facts. So I hope that you'll be willing to listen. Here we go. Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest.
I don't get what she's saying here. It's not in a creepy way. Well, then what way is it?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing here is like she's obviously trying to say what her perspective of this is, but the problem is like the societal norm perspective of this is it is fucking creepy and it is weird, like really, really weird.
Oh yeah, and she sent her underwear to kids.
Yeah, this is the thing. The group chat isn't even the worst part. She sent her underwear to Adam McIntyre when he was 13.
Yeah.
And her response to this originally and her friend's response was to like be like, oh, the mum was like didn't say that she was uncomfortable with it. It's like, bro.
Didn't she say she just needed to get rid of some clothes or something?
So she was doing a live stream of where she was like opening up clothes and getting rid of the ones that she didn't want. And then Adam was in the chat where when he was like 13, just like messing around in the chat and stuff. And they were like, oh, Adam, do you want anything? Tell us what you want. And then they were like, oh, maybe he wants these. And it's like the underwear and the panties and stuff. And then in her 2020 video, she like spliced up the clips to make it look like Adam was like begging for them throughout the chat. Either way, though, even if he was begging for them or wasn't begging for them, he's 13 years old. He is like kid's not got a brain cell at that age, bro. At that age, I was just playing Halo Combat Evolved repeated. There was a phase of my life when I was 13, and I was playing Halo Combat Evolved.
Whatever the 13-year-old kid said,
I was playing that on repeat. The campaign, I play it, complete it. Play it again and complete it. I did it like 8 times in a row when I remember this, and then playing RuneScape in the midst of all of that. That age, there aren't any brain cells.
No.
And if you're going into chats of like grown 30-year-old women asking for their underwear, the adult should probably just be like, not even respond. Just ban them from the chat.
Yeah, there's no critical thought going on there.
It's the only critical thought is just to not do that pretty much.
It was more of a loser kind of way, where I was just trying to be besties with everybody. It's kind of like when you go to like a family gathering, you know, and there's a weird aunt there, keeps coming up to you and going like, hey girl, what's the tea? And you're like, ugh.
quite funny that her response to this is just, yeah, I am a fucking loser. Like, there's just no.
I don't know what she's on about either.
She's saying that the reason that she spoke to these kids was like, oh, I was trying to be like their bestie. I wanted to be friends with people because I didn't have any friends or something. That's what our other friend said. Corey DeSoto was the bloke in the video where they were giving away clothes and stuff. He was like, oh, you guys he sent like a message in the group chat. It was like, you guys are like my best friends. And it's like, no.
Yeah, can you just like find people
your age
to like fuck about with
but this is
in a chat?
This is the thing, right? People are like using this as being like, oh, all these people are now going against me because it's like clout and stuff like that. But the reality is, right, the amount, I don't know about you, but I feel like everybody has experienced it, right? When you're like 14 or just a bit below the age of 16 and you're friends with somebody who is like much older than you, and then when you get to that person's age, you then realize, bit weird that I was friends with that guy.
Yeah, I feel like if I was mates with anyone, even like under the age of maybe like 20,
even like
I'd feel a bit odd.
You're a year younger than me, but even like when we were friends in like school or something, I wasn't uncomfortable of it, but I was aware of it.
I think when you're at school, like the year above seems way older.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the year below seems so much younger.
100%.
So like the fact that she was like, how old was she?
30 to 33.
30 to 33, and you're chatting to someone fucking like nearly 20 years younger than you.
Yeah,
in that way is actually insane.
And when Adam was 13, he sent when he was like when Adam was 17, he was like, when he fully realized what was happening, was like flipping out on her and stuff. He sent her a message being like, imagine if your kid was my age and speaking to somebody like 20 years older than him.
Imagine you've got a kid and you find out someone's adult's messaging you that.
And her response to that was like, I can't believe he was dragging my son into the drama. I was like, no, he wasn't. He was actually making a fucking spot on point of, you would be uncomfortable if you were a parent and your kid started speaking to a grown adult. Kids, the only reason kids should be speaking to adults if it's their teacher or any other form of teacher, or like a social club, or it's a family member or a family friend. That's it. Like,
I think she was just annoyed he made such a good point by the sounds of it.
But also, I remember like when my cousins and stuff, they were like, my step cousins were much younger than me, and they'd always want to talk to me and stuff, and I'd be like, you're fucking well annoying. Like, I don't want to speak to you. Like when I was like, and I was like 18, 19 then, because they're kids and they're like not on the same maturity level.
It's just so irresponsible, isn't it?
But you know why she's doing it. She obviously wanted to cultivate an audience, because like when you look at the DMs to people who are fans, she didn't ever want to respond to like she got called out the thing, she didn't want to respond to them, so she wanted her fans to do the work for her, sort of thing. So it was cultivating an audience.
It also to me sounds like she just wanted to like make the most of like her feeling like, oh, I'm this great like massive celebrity.
Because
I just want to be in a place where people are just hyping me up.
Because they'll always be like, oh, you're so right about this and that. I mean, she literally, have you seen the divorce messages? She was speaking to the kids about her divorce.
I think that, what the fuck are you? Why are you getting like these like preteens involved?
When my parents broke up, you know, when your parents never broke up. I don't know if they did, but my parents broke up, and they sat me down for like the talk when your parents break up, but they couldn't. Parents, when you're like, because I was 10, and like at that young age, you can't really explain to them the reasons for the breakup. And when you're a kid, you just can't understand it. So like having this 33-year-old woman who you don't know, who you're a fan of, speak about the explicit details of their breakup.
So like the complexity of relationships that you can't begin to understand at that age.
Because you're a kid, man. You haven't experienced these kids.
Them problems are like so far removed from anything they're going to experience.
And I, as somebody who like grew up on the internet, like I befriended adults on the internet when I was much younger on like RuneScape and stuff. I know for a fact that conversing with adults, people who are much older than me, definitely like impacted my social growth. Like at a younger age, I was much more like, not different, but like I was more, I don't know what the word, it's hard to explain, but if you've gone through that phase of like speaking to adults on the internet when you're much younger, you know how much it impacts you. It just kind of changes how you don't act as much as a kid when you should, because you're trying to act like an adult when you
because you're trying to appease them, aren't you?
But then you start to do that outside of speaking to them, and you don't actually know how an adult thinks and does things the way they do. You're trying to almost replicate that, and it only makes you affects you on the negative aspects way more than just being an adult. You should just be a kid and having fun.
Yeah, you shouldn't be dragging kids into your divorce proceedings.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking standard statement, to be fair.
Yeah.
That was me, but in group chats with my fans. It was weird.
In the messages, they're just having a conversation about like random shit, and
Yeah.
then she'll just like jump in and go, fucking everyone hates me.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing that?
You're such a fucking loser. Like, it's just such embarrassing mentality to have. Like, just get a therapist or speak to some kids or something. I was watching, it was Cody's video actually, and they were like, they brought up what you were brought up as well, and they were like, when they spoke about it, they were like, "This is so bad. When I have like trauma, I try not to speak to anybody about it, even my friends, because I don't because that's not their trauma and they shouldn't have to hear it." But it's like, no, guys, you should speak to your friends about your problems. Like, obviously, they're not willing to listen to it, then fair enough. But like, if I'm like dealing with a shit time, speaking to a friend is something that can really help. Like, the whole point that we need to make here is speak to your loved ones. And if you can, speak to a therapist.
It's weird going, I just want these 13-year-olds to tell me how good I am.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's doing it is just because she wants to be told, like, oh, I'm so in the right and stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll continue for a bit longer. We're only 2 minutes in. We actually should get into, we're like almost 40 minutes into this podcast. So we've been going for a while. We'll continue for a bit longer, and then we'll get into the messages.
I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years. I've poured my heart out to you, and because of that, I feel like I'm talking to my friends. But in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there.
That's also complete bollocks. Like, at 16, I would not speak to a 13-year-old. Because I remember when in school, somebody was 16 and they dated like I think it was a 13-year-old, and they were called like a nonce, man. They were like bullied and shit.
Absolutely crucified.
That is like a weird age. No, it's a wrong age gap, because at 16, you either have gone through puberty or you are going through puberty. And at 13, maybe you are, but like the development difference between 13 and 16 is absolutely I was in 2010, I was 13, and in 2013, I was 16. Those two people are fucking like centuries apart, pretty much. The growth. This is why when you're everyone thinks back to when they were a kid, like, oh, life was so slower back then. It's because you were developing and stuff. Like, you were going through such big stages of your life and stuff. So like, you felt like a completely different person when you were 13 to 16.
One day I was really fat, the next day I was lanky. Strange.
Literally, exactly.
As we were saying
I
earlier.
can't remember losing weight when I was a kid, but I was one fat little chubby kid.
Yeah, I was like that. I think I was younger. I was like,
and one day
I'm fat. Next day I was like,
oh, not anymore.
I can't even squeeze my belly.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was like a chubby little wanker, pretty much. And then one day when I was like 15, 16, I was, I'm actually quite skinny, and I can run fast now. Like, that was the moment I actually realized I was skinny. I'm actually quite fast when it comes to running, but obviously when you're fat, you're not really running much, so you don't really know it. When I was fat anyway, and I realized it. But what I'm saying here is, like, those ages are such like big moment, like big times when you're a kid, and you shouldn't be spending them speaking to in group chats with. In fact, I don't even think you should be like actively like as chronically online as these kids were at that age. I think kids should have the access to the internet, because I think it's cruel to, especially nowadays.
I don't think 13-year-olds should be on Twitter. Full stop.
I don't think they should be on Twitter, but I think they should have access to the internet. But it's you shouldn't be doing what they're doing here. Like, it's not. I'm not blaming them.
I think you're
adults should take responsibility.
I think 13-year-olds like nowadays are like, they're so much more vulnerable than when we were kids. Because when I was like 13, all I'd do is go on MSN and like fucking Facebook. But like, even though I was online, I only had access to speaking to like people I knew.
I do think though that kids, like, I know people always say, and I've changed my opinion on this recently, I think kids should have access to technology when they're young. But I think it's like it should be. I think it should be the parents' responsibility to teach responsibility to the children, because we now live in such. Technology isn't going anywhere unless there's a nuclear war. Technology has only become bigger and bigger in our lives, and so much crucial and important to our lives. So I think restricting a child from technology is cruel in the aspect of they will feel left out from their friends and stuff, but also they will not be learning the levels of responsibility that you should know for using social media and technology.
There's just some stuff they shouldn't be allowed on.
No, but that's the part of the parent teaching. That's a part of the parent, like, making sure that they don't go on these sites, and they know that there is bad parts of the internet they shouldn't go on, especially at a younger age. It's like when you were younger, I don't know about you, but like my parents didn't let me play some. Remember Ewan? He couldn't play GTA until he was like 18.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a stretch, but what I'm saying is, like, with video games and films and stuff, we're fine with like limiting them to an age gap. But with like things like social media and the internet, it's like, no, you can't use that until you're this age completely. But it's like, I think we should treat it how we treat video games and films. Like, you can play the child-friendly things, but
This just reminds me of my old Twitter account when I was 13.
Yeah, and you don't want to speak about it.
And it just reminds me of like the mental state of a 13-year-old.
Yeah. Kids should not be
like,
tweeting.
I just don't think like an adult should be talking to them.
Yeah. Kids shouldn't be speaking to adults.
Let's see if I can find that Twitter account just to give you an idea.
Oh, God.
I just want to give you an idea of the sort of...
No, you can't look on Twitter anymore without being signed in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Should I do it on my phone?
Wait, that's new. Have you not seen the new rules?
No.
You can't search Twitter anymore unless you're signed in.
Oh.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah, he's just ruining everything.
He is really rude. We were going to speak about it, but we can speak about it in the next episode because we've been going for quite a while. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I think that kids should have access to like things like learning things and stuff like that. Like the ability, like those like YouTubers who like teach like learning English and maths and stuff. And I think the other problem is like parents, their first go-to shutting their kid up is putting an iPad in front of them. It's like you should have limited access and stuff. Like you shouldn't just be giving your kid an iPad to shut them up. You should be being like an actual parent.
Yeah, I do not like people that throw screens in front of their kids.
Yeah, it's fucking irresponsible, and it doesn't teach responsibility, and it just teaches addiction. And that's another thing. You need to technology is important, but you need to teach responsible usage of it. And responsible usage is not speaking to Colleen Ballinger. Can you not find it?
Twitter's just fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just not working. Should we continue with this a bit more, or do you want to go into the group chat DMs?
Can I have a wee, and then can we go into the messages?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I've done a wee, everyone.
Hello, how you doing? Should we go through the...
You look a cat.
I do cough like a cat. It was because of the back of my throat, all right? Okay, so...
When you edit this podcast, can you please just zoom in on you going... doing that little noise?
Yeah, I can.
Thanks.
Okay, even though I don't edit this. Okay, so... The group chat, we've got whole screenshots here. We've got a whole document because of my researcher being a beast.
Yeah, this is the bit where we've stopped laughing at her playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
Things. This is like the serious stuff.
We won't go through everything because but it is like, as you said earlier, it's just like so out of nowhere. She wasn't even speaking. So somebody goes, my buck teeth came back. And then Adam goes, my ass looks so good today, y'all. And I don't know how old Adam is here. I think he must have been like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And then Colleen goes, pics. Which is, again, comes down to the whole thing I was mentioning earlier of when she was saying things aren't true out of context. But it's like how...
It's just the message he said is really funny as a standalone comment, isn't it? And then she asked for pics and it's sort of like... Why have you done that?
I love that his response at like 14 years old was "Go away, bitch."
yeah, I saw that. I was like, he knows how to deal with predators.
He probably knew that was an inappropriate message. But then you get into like when she's speaking about the divorce and stuff, and like it goes, he's lied to everyone and said I cheated. When would I cheat when I was working 24 hours a day? Sorry, no fucking YouTuber works 24. Nobody works 24 hours a day.
No, especially not a. Nickelodeon celebrity.
But also it's like
I don't know why I said Nickelodeon. I think I saw a picture of her at a Nickelodeon.
She probably went to the Kids' Choice Awards, ironically enough. But then everyone in the chat's just like, he will regret it. I'm gonna hurt his soul. Sorry, I'm never gonna hurt a soul, but I will kick him in the balls. And you know when she's reading this, she's like, this is sick. Everyone agrees with me. The kids are loving this one. It's
like when your mum's having a tiff with your dad and they just like vent to you.
Yeah, and you don't know what the fuck to say. Like,
yeah, it's like you shouldn't be doing it if they're your kid, and you definitely shouldn't be doing it if they're someone else's kid.
You can't even say they're like mates. They're not. They're fans of this person as well. There's just so many screenshots of like, why are you discussing this? He goes, it makes no sense. He tries to get pity for being heartbroken over me, but constantly tries to drag me through the mud. You can't be heartbroken over someone you hate. So which is it? It's like, this shit should just be between you and him.
Just stick that in a diary.
Yeah, right? It's just like, or just make a private Twitter account if you really got to get it out there.
Say it to your friend or your therapist. And they're not your friends.
Yeah, they're not.
They're kids.
Yeah. She even says I should keep my mouth shut. Randomly, like you said earlier.
Oh, she does it a few times. It's sort of like...
Everyone's chatting. Hi, everyone hates me. You're a fucking loser.
She does... It's like she does acknowledge that what she's doing isn't right. And then she just carries on doing it.
That's the worst part about it.
It's just learn from what you're doing. It's like if it's the one message and then you go, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
That's where it wouldn't be so bad. But like,
she's also, I think another thing Charlotte uses as a defense is like, it was an emotionally abusive relationship. I don't know if this is a hot take, but you should not be speaking to kids about emotionally abusive relationships that you're involved in, because they don't have the minds to understand and comprehend that. They shouldn't be having to, like, kids should be taught things and like what's inappropriate and what's not, but they shouldn't be speaking to that with an adult who they don't know over the internet. They should be speaking to that with their parents.
Yeah, especially to the level she's going into. Like, she is coming out with some like quite dark things.
Like, look at that. Got him a tour, got him subscribers, gave him a family, paid for everything, flew wherever he was. I mean, it's just like, why are you doing this? And then there's so many rants about this fucking divorce. It's actually crazy.
I think she also knows anything that she says in that chat, they're going to back her up.
You can look at every message and now, like, yes, queen.
There's
like,
no way these kids are going to have a level-headed response to you.
Yeah.
They're just going to, like, hype you up and be like, so sorry to hear that, queen.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But then obviously the divorce ones aren't even like the worst ones. It was ones of where, I mean, even like this, she puts like a selfie of herself in there, goes, "Hey bitches, when can we do a slumber party? Like, I'm serious. Like, y'all are my best friends." It's like, this is just insane to read. If you found out that I was going into group chats telling kids that they're my best friend, I feel like you would probably be a bit fucking bamboozled by that.
That would be the end of the Buddies podcast.
Yeah, that would be quite a controversial thing. Then she goes, "But then I came online to see that people are still believing lies about me. Cool, but I love you guys. One day we will have that slumber party." And then one of the fans says, "Ooh, we don't need that." And then she goes, "I need it." It's just grim, man.
That is actually Michael Jackson levels of
It
mental.
is, because I don't know much about the Michael Jackson case, but I do know he did sleep in his bed with kids, and his whole thing
slumber
was
parties with kids.
Yeah,
which,
his whole thing was
it's
like,
not okay,
we were just friends. But it's like, you shouldn't be though. Like, you just shouldn't. And people always defend it of like, oh, but he was like emotionally immature. I don't care. Like,
I think there is one person that sounds emotionally immature in all of this.
it's the fucking adult who's trying. Like, these kids are technically not emotionally immature. They are mature for their age in the sense of they should be speaking like that because they are kids. They're speaking in a kid way.
Some of the kids are coming off better than her though. Like,
they're telling you to piss off and stuff.
Yeah.
They're actually being like fairly responsible in the fact that they clearly, I think they do acknowledge it is weird. Like, I think
it's almost like, because they're in a chat which is basically like all of her stands in one chat.
It's like a worship cult chat.
Like, some of them genuinely sound a bit annoyed.
When
they're having a nice chat and then they're interrupted with some like random bollocks.
Well, there's this other thing. So her friend Corey had his own chat, which was called Corey's Clit, and which is also fucking weird. And then
she had a chat.
He had a chat. Corey had it called Corey's Clit.
Okay.
With kid fans as well, who are also Colleen's fans. And in those
Corey's Clit.
Yeah. Bit weird.
What?
Yeah. It was called Corey. The chat was called Corey's Clit with like, and everyone. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is really grim. And then in the chat, he would like bitch about Colleen, and his fans would bitch with him pretty much. And I'm like, this is a really messed up like community or environment. And obviously, the kids have grown up and realized this was really, really weird. There is no defense of this. And then when you go back to the song of her, how she's like acted, like in the song, there's this thing she says of where she's like, people are calling me a groomer because I made a fart joke. It's like, no, I don't even think I've seen her make a fart joke. And if she had make a funny fart joke, fair enough, but she hasn't made a funny fart joke. She's just been fucking weird.
Stop saying fart joke.
I want to make a little. We've not made a poo joke in the entire episode, but at least we've got a mention there. But if we go back, so that's like the crux of most of it. I don't want to go through every single screenshot.
No, that's what the 3.5 hour videos.
That's actually just one section. There's so much to go through. But now we've read that, and we just go back into like a little bit more of her apology. It'll only sound a little bit more sinister.
There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years.
That was also a lie. She left the group chat like a week ago.
Did she?
Yeah. Somebody, I don't know if she was active in it, but she was still in it. She left it during the whole controversy before she responds. So that's complete utter bollocks as well.
I wonder how have like the stands come out and spoke about
this?
Oh
yeah. They've all spoken about it. They've all like grown up and like realized, oh, this was weird that we were kids speaking to this person. The actual person that exposed the story was actually a 30-year-old who was in these group chats, and they would just claim that they were emotionally manipulated manipulated by Colleen in 2020. And like, I'm not saying that adults can't be manipulated, but as an adult, I don't care. You should realize that when a kid is being sent underwear, that's a bad thing. I don't care if you're a super fan. Like if I met Steven Gerrard but found out that Steven Gerrard was sending underwear to kids, I don't care how much of a fan I am of the Istanbul goal. I'm gonna say Steven Gerrard, mate, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that like now you've put it like that.
Yeah,
that is mental.
There's no claim of emotional manipulation that's defensible. And with her video that sparked up all of this, she's deleted it and left social media because she couldn't handle the heat. And I'm like, she apologized to Adam in it, but I'm like, if you're gonna like actually atone for it, at least just at least keep the video up. You're gonna take some heat, but at least there's like some way of actually getting some retribution there of like you're helping Adam like the actual truth of the story get out there. But by deleting everything, it's like hard to access that and see what the actual truth is.
To see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability.
You just hope that everything that comes out of this makes her realise how fucked up what she did is what she did.
I can't tell if what we're witnessing here is like a mental breakdown. Maybe it is, but I mean, nobody can write a 10-minute song in a nursery rhyme style about grooming without being slightly unhinged. Like there's just no way. I think that she needs to just detox from the internet, go live in the fucking mountains for like 6 months, and then she'll probably realise after like, you know, on like a 6th pint of like goat milk, whatever milk they have in the mountains, of like, oh yeah, that was a bit of a weird time in my life, and maybe she'll never come back. But
goat milk,
yeah, do they? I don't know. I just imagine like mountain goats and shit.
But I don't think that there's like a go-to drink in the mountains, which is just like pints of goat milk.
They're probably just drinking water. Let's be fucking real. I don't think they're drinking.
They're not going around milking goats, are they?
Well, maybe, mate, that'd be more beneficial to society than fucking doing this. Go milk some goats. That's what I'm saying. Like, just do that, and we'll forget about this. We won't, but
okay. Yeah. Oh, all right, mate.
Toxic gossip train. The locomotive's fueled with hateful accusations. The toxic gossip train.
She's saying this, but it's like, if there are accusations which aren't true, just fucking prove it. Like, and there's also no way, because these messages exist. We've all seen them. Like, they're not accusations. They're screenshots. Something as an accusation is like, that he stole my goat milk. Like, that's an accusation. Yeah. But if I've got video footage of you stealing my fucking goat milk, it's now just a fact. Like, let's be real.
Oh yeah, like I want her to like tell me what's not true.
But this is what she does. She says, oh, it's all like accusations and a hate train. And the only reason she's saying that is because the average fucking human being doesn't have time to make a 3.5 hour video documenting it all and doing research to find out what she's actually done.
Yeah, but it's literally like, here's the evidence, here's the screenshots.
Yeah,
explain it.
But if she just skims through it and like says, oh yeah, I was a little bit bad, but I've not done that, her fans will be like, oh, fair enough. I can't be bothered to look up what she's done and what she said. I'm just going to take her word for it.
She like that video of that guy that's like, I'm a nice guy, I'm a normal guy.
Yeah.
But then I have a bit of sugar, I get a little kooky.
I've never seen this video.
Hey, you know, that's what she's doing.
Yeah. Was he alleged monster as well?
No. Do you want to see the video or not?
No, I don't really.
Oh, it is really funny though.
All right, how do I get it up?
Just type in sugar cookie. Who the fuck is that going on?
I don't know. You told me to look up sugar cookie and it came up with cookies.
This is my take.
Who
fuck is
this? How many views has this got?
Mate, this is my...
Has this got many views?
Yes, really famous. This is my take on what her apology video is.
Right.
I go through my day pretty normal. Like, I'm a normal guy. I'm a swell guy. I'm a nice enough guy. I'm a cool kind of guy. I'm a pretty groovy guy. But then I get a little sugar in me and I start to go cuckoo.
It hasn't got fucking many views.
It was like a Vine, I think. It was a really old video.
Jesus, this is Colleen Ballinger.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's going, I'm a nice guy. I'm a little normal guy, but I was a bit kooky.
Steamroll over someone's reputation. Toxic gossip train.
Most of this 10-minute apology is just her repeating that.
She occasionally says
chorus.
the same thing. No, sorry. She actually occasionally says a new thing. Occasionally, like once every now and again, every 2 minutes.
I like the chorus, but the verses need a bit of work.
It's very loud as well. It's like, I don't want to hear this.
Hop on board, but close your eyes. Otherwise, you'll realize that the train is made of lies, and that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die. But hey, at least you're having fun.
I don't think anybody has said she deserves to die.
I don't want anything bad to happen to her at all.
I just want you
to just admit to what you've done.
Yeah, like you keep saying I'm taking accountability, but you're just strumming a fucking ukulele.
I don't want people's lives to be ruined over stuff. I think
that she should like definitely like take some like responsibility and the thing is, right, she thinks that I took accountability. She thinks that because of that everyone should go back to normal and accept it. But the reality is when you've done something like this, people will not be able to look at you in the same way. Like you can admit to it, but
you can't just like go, oh yeah, I'm sorry, move on.
Yeah, your fans are going to make their own conscious decision whether to leave or not. Like
at least like
and a part of accountability is accepting that.
Show that you've learned from it.
In all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. We should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person. And this is something that I've always tried to do when I make mistakes, and it's something that I will continue to try to do. What? Oh, you don't care? Oh, okay.
It's not a mistake though, is it? It's like a mistake is like I don't know, you're a dick to your mate or something.
It's the one part of the song where it's like, oh, hang on, she's actually going to say something worthwhile. And then she just passes herself off thinking that that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, but it's like the reason she's calling it a mistake, but it's not a mistake. A mistake is like human error. You might like say something you regret or something, but she's consciously for 4 years straight messaged children.
Like, oh yeah, I think it is important we take accountability. Oh, but you don't care, so I'm going to get a little cookie.
Yeah, the little sugar. Yeah, like this isn't accountability. Like you're just being passive aggressive about everything. Just being a bit of bellend, to be honest with you. Like there's nothing more than that. And then the next 7 minutes is just the exact same thing. And I believe one of the cameras has just come off, so we're gonna have to speak for a bit longer.
That's the end of me.
Yeah.
I'm on that camera now.
Yeah, you are. Do you want me to like tilt the camera a bit until it?
It's fine. Can we not work with these two angles?
Yeah, we can work with these two. We can be in the middle one and just me.
People just come here for you most of the time anyway.
I think the cameras have overheated because it's like 20 degrees or something like that. But the whole situation is pretty fucked up, to be fair. It's funny because of the apology being like would you say this is the worst apology ever made?
As far as YouTube apologies videos going, I think this is the most profoundly worst one. There is probably...
It's because it's so just wide. Like there's just why to this. There is no logical explanation for what the fuck is going on in this video. Like, you can't, like, I just can't comprehend. Like, maybe it's because I'm so intertwined into YouTube at this point, but like I can't understand how any human being would do this and think, or premeditate it, think about it, and like think, yeah, that would be a great idea. Because sometimes you have an idea and you're like, actually, no, that'd be.
It's just really surreal. This could almost be a Black Mirror episode, couldn't it?
I genuinely think that Black Mirror will eventually do some influencer level thing. They kind of have more recently, but I think they're gonna eventually see shit like this and be like, we can get a good episode out of this or something.
Yeah, it's bit like that Miley Cyrus episode, isn't it?
Yeah. But overall, what's your thoughts so we can wrap this up?
Terrible apology. Admit to.
Do you reckon there's any way back?
Time heals. They do say time heals.
But when you've done something like this, but then again, look at Shane Dawson. That guy bangs 3 million views of it still. That's sick. Like, man, I'd kill for 3 million views a video.
I love my alternative music. There's a lot of bad people in that scene and bands that do terrible things. Usually it's all blown up, and then in a few years, people, move on. So
unless
maybe in a
like
few years she could move.
Like the band that made the song Rooftops. What's it called again?
Lost Prophets. I think that
we don't even need to.
That was a monumental.
That was the worst of that. There has never been a worse in music.
I think that's just one of the worst crimes ever committed.
It is the worst crime ever committed, in my opinion. Like, but we won't. Yeah, but that's obviously indefensible in any case.
Yeah, because I think in a few years, as long as like
if she leaves the internet for a bit and comes back to make content and just uploads through it, she'll probably have some level of dedicated audience of a few 100,000 people. Like she's got 77,000 likes on this.
But also, the internet is the internet. People do just like they move from one controversy to another with like.
Next week there'll be something else.
People get very bored.
I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying that's just the reality of the internet.
Yeah, I know. It's like us with the Illuminati topic.
We're not talking about it.
It's like I don't want to do another video on it because I'm bored. Yeah. And even though you shouldn't just be like that. It's what we're like.
They should take that. But it's not our responsibility to keep talking about it. It's their responsibility to actually develop their. Like I'm saying that they should go take accountability. They should grow and whatever the buzzwords are for it. But we shouldn't have the responsibility to carry on film talking about it. Unless something else happens, then we will. But like the reality is, from here, all she can do is just hopefully just fuck off for a bit.
It's up to people if they want to carry on watching her and supporting
This
her.
is, but I think
I don't really care at the end of the
yeah,
day.
but I think that she doesn't understand that. I think that she's struggling because she's been like a influencer for so long. She's struggling to think that she's no longer going to have that cult anymore. She's going to struggle to have even partially a bigger audience to what she had before. Like, and I think that this is an example of how much she's struggling with that. There's no way back really to how she was before, and she can't really handle that.
She's just shit the bed.
Yeah, that's a
She's
good way
just
of
shit the bed.
Colleen Ballinger did a big fucking sloppy poo, and that's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Any final thoughts before you got any jokes? Any final jokes?
Any jokes?
You haven't,
No, not on top of my head.
you haven't been thinking about any. Usually you end us with a little shit
And
joke.
I end up with a shit joke.
Yeah, but you can think about it for the next episode. How about
Okay,
that?
thanks.
Yeah, I'll save you there. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please follow us on Spotify. That's very, very important. Apple Music too. I think I forgot to put the episode up on Apple Music last time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll do better. Aidan's coming towards the end of his festival tour, so this should be our start of consistency. There's absolutely no fucking reason for us to not. I'm determined.
I think people want to stop hearing it. Actions speak louder than words.
But we
Fraser.
usually speak about it at the starting. At the ending, it doesn't matter because four people are here now.
You right, guys?
And to you 4 people, if you're here, tweet us a photo. Tweet Aidan a photo of what's the image for this week.
I would like a photo of Augustus Gloop.
Yeah, fucking from the old one or the new one?
Old one.
All right. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.